Today's show is brought to you by State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. Call Ryan today at 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Or visit his website, ryanismyagent.com. That's ryanismyagent.com. And make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I want to start today with this question. Which quarterback gives the Bears the best chance to win in 2021? Don't worry, we're not talking about incumbents here. No Mitch, no Nick Foles, no Tyler Bray. We're talking about guys the Bears could go out and get. Free agent, trade, doesn't matter. Now, I will preface this by saying there's only one quarterback who I believe the Bears could go out and get today who'd be better than Mitch or Nick, the status quo. That's simple. He'll be on the list, but that's it. The other four quarterbacks I mentioned here today would be the same. They'd be adequate. They wouldn't really make a big difference to me. So I want you to keep that in mind. That said, here is my top 5 quarterback list. Number 5 is Tyrod Taylor. Yep, Tyrod Taylor. I know. You might be thinking this guy's a backup, John. What the hell are you talking about? I respond with this. Who has the best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history? Oh yeah, that's right, Tyrod Taylor. Who could run for 500 yards in a season? Even more. Tyrod Taylor. Who led the Bills to their first playoff appearance in 19 years? Tyrod Taylor. He's not a bad quarterback. The media may tell you he's horrible. He got benched for Justin Herbert. No, he didn't. He was hurt. And the doctors in Los Angeles screwed with him. He's a good quarterback. When he started in Buffalo, 3 years of about 3,000 passing yards, 15 to 20 touchdowns, 4 to 7 picks. That's it. If you're looking for a guy who makes good decisions all the time, pick Tyrod Taylor. All of you who hate Mitch, who watch me, know Mitch makes bad throws. Picks in the end zone, I can't stand it. Tyrod won't do it. Not at all. And he's mobile, extends plays with his legs, and never turns the ball over. Disciplined quarterback. I think he'd work with the Bears. I think he'd go 8-8. Maybe better. He wouldn't be a bad pickup. I wouldn't be opposed at all. But a lot of people have a negative opinion of him. They say it wasn't Tyrod, it was the Bills' defense who carried them. Oh, Tyrod got benched by Baker Mayfield. And for Justin Herbert. Yeah, in both those cases, Tyrod was brought in to be a bridge quarterback. That's unfair to him. If the Bears came up and told him, let's say they signed him and said, you are the guy, I'd be interested to see how he performs. No interim tag, no Mitch is behind you, he'll come in after 2 games. Just, Tyrod, do your thing. I think we'd see his time from the Bills reenacted here. That means 3,000 passing yards. That means 500 rushing yards. That means about 20 touchdowns and about 5 picks. I'd take that every single day of the week. He's on a bargain right now. Won't cost too much money. And he'd be a good idea for the Bears to look at least via free agency. Number 4, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He didn't do bad this year. If it wasn't for him, the Dolphins wouldn't be in the playoff chase. Went 4-3, in 7 starts, 9 games total. This is what tells you he meant a lot to that team. Tua Tagovailoa was drafted to be the guy. Yet down the stretch, when the Dolphins needed wins, when they needed help to make the playoffs, they would take Tua out of games and put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Their top pick, the great quarterback from Alabama, they'd take him out to put in Fitzpatrick to play. Because Fitzpatrick gave them the best chance to win. Now this year, 13 touchdowns, 8 picks, 2,100 passing yards, and 96 quarterback rating. Not a bad quarterback. Not a bad option for the Bears if they want to go the veteran route. I would sign him to a 1-year deal. That's it. See what he could do. And the one positive is if you keep Mitch Trubisky, let's say, Fitzpatrick won't be deterred. He dealt with that this year and performed. He dealt with the team's top quarterback right behind him, ready to take him over, and he did fine under that pressure. So mentally, he'd be able to stomach having Trubisky behind him, or having another quarterback competition, or having Nagy tell him, hey, Trubisky's right here, he will come in if you can't perform. He's able to do it. Seasoned veteran, been around the league for a long time. He's had some success, mostly failures, but some success. And for 1 year, why not sign him? Like Tyrod, he'd cost nothing, virtually nothing. And who knows, maybe Fitzpatrick throws for 4,000 passing yards if he plays every game and leads the Bears to a playoff appearance. It's possible. It might be unlikely, but it is possible. It could happen. If he could do that with the Dolphins, he could do it with the Bears too. I could see it happening. Number 3, Dak Prescott. Now, I know money would be a problem. The Bears would have to trade for him too. They'd have to give up a lot of picks. But not a bad quarterback. Not a bad quarterback at all. Compared to what the Bears have now, if we're talking about statistics, Dak would do great, just like Matthew Stafford. Remember, I said last week, Matthew Stafford puts up numbers, he just can't win. Dak Prescott puts up numbers, but he hasn't won yet. Dak this past season, 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. Then he got hurt, obviously. The year before, 4,900 passing yards and 30 touchdowns. There are 2 concerns with Dak. Number 1, his injury. What will he be like when he comes back? We don't know. That's why he's number 3. We don't really know what to expect. Could be old Dak all over again. Could be new Dak. And he won't be as good, like RG3 when he got hurt. We don't know. Secondly, the one big issue with Dak is that he needs the right team around him. Dak did great when Ezekiel Elliott played, when his line was good, when Amari Cooper was his number 1 target. How would he do here? With David Montgomery, possibly no Allen Robinson, and a beat-up offensive line. Quite a difference from where he was in Dallas. That's the big issue. The injury thing isn't even that big of a deal, really, compared to this. He needs every single right piece around him to succeed. If he has it, he'll do great. But if he doesn't, he'll be an average quarterback at best. That's why I never blame the Cowboys nor anybody for talking about paying him $40 million and giving him this extension. It's smoke and mirrors. He needs to have the right team around him to win. And to even play up to par, he needs a safety net. He needs a number 1 receiver. He needs Ezekiel Elliott to catch passes in the flat and to run. He's a high-tech Mitch Trubisky. He is. He's better numerically But he's the same in the sense that he needs the right pieces. He needs a team around him to succeed, just like Mitch. He's not like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all these great quarterbacks where they need nothing. They'll find ways to win themselves, Russell Wilson. Dak needs something. He needs support. And in the Bears' case, they really can't give that to him. And the Bears would give up a lot to get him, and they'd have to pay money. So it's unrealistic. It's possible, but it's unrealistic for the Bears. And I don't see him working out here in Chicago. That said, they might get him anyway, and we'll have to see. Number 2, Matthew Stafford. Yes. I put Stafford above Dak Prescott because we know Stafford is healthy. As of right now, we do. No season-ending injury. He's going to be the same person he was this past season. Now, what does that mean for the Bears? Nothing. Matthew Stafford's a great quarterback, but again, like Dak, if he doesn't have a team around him, he's not going to win. That's not a knock on Stafford. It's a knock on the team he's been on. He's not going to win with nothing around him. And the Bears have nothing. The Bears have nothing to give. I've never understood the infatuation with Matthew Stafford. He's a 5,000-yard passer. Wow. Okay. Great. He had Calvin Johnson, by the way. And the Lions did nothing anyways. He's a 72-90 quarterback. Wins aren't a quarterback stat. Well, to me, they kind of are, because if you throw for 5,000 yards but go 4-12, what good does that do for your team? We have to think here. Matthew Stafford, great quarterback. Best quarterback in Lions history. That said, how would he do here? Really, how would he do? The Bears would probably go 7-9, 8-8. And that'd be it. And Stafford would maybe throw for 4,000 yards. As I said last week, if you're looking for a franchise record-holding quarterback, bring in Stafford. Just like the Bears brought in Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, statistically, is the greatest quarterback in Bears franchise history. That doesn't mean the Bears won under him. It doesn't mean the Bears won games, won Super Bowls, went everywhere. No. It just meant that he put up a lot of numbers and passed the ball a lot, and that's it. That's what you'll get with Matthew Stafford. If you're looking for franchise records and for huge passing yard numbers, bring him in. If you're looking for actual wins and an actual team-wide improvement under him, you're not going to get it. That's the big flaw for Matthew Stafford. And then number 1, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is the only quarterback on this list who'd be a real upgrade and who could lead the Bears to a better season than Mitch or Nick. Now, I know he went 4-12 this year. That scares me. It proves that just because you lead the league in passing yards means nothing for your team. And I'm still skeptical of him coming here. I doubt he wants to do it. Why would he? Why would he take that step back and go from Houston, a dysfunctional organization, to come here? Highly doubt it'll happen. But he would make a difference. He would. I'm not saying a big one. I think him and Mitch would be similar, Watson a bit better. And the only reason I say that is because there's no team here. The Bears don't have a team. They don't. They have Matt Nagy still calling plays. David Montgomery, good running back. No receivers, no O-line. When your number 1 receiver could be Darnell Mooney, you've got a problem. And that's not a knock on Mooney, but the fact is, he's not a number one receiver yet. Not yet. He had 600 receiving yards. That's not number one receiver worthy. He's a good number two right now. The Bears need a one. And they don't have it. And if they bring in a quarterback via free agency, they're going to have to pay him. They may have no money for Allen Robinson. That's the other concern. So I think Watson would make the most sense from this list. He'd be the most improved. He'd lead the Bears to a better record, no question. The rest of them, though, have issues, have concerns, have holes. And Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles are already here. Now, you might be wondering about some of my omissions. I did not include Carson Wentz, nor Sam Darnold. Here's why. The Bears don't need another project. They don't need another Mitch Trubisky. They have one already. Look, I've always believed in Wentz. I think he had a bad year. I think he could improve and bounce back. But the Bears don't need to take that sort of a risk. They don't. They've done it already. They're going to do it again. That is not the guy to bring in. Same with Darnold. You know, it's so funny. Everybody sits here and tears down Mitch. Bad decision maker. Can't read defenses. Too many picks. You guys would have a field day if Wentz or Darnold started for the Bears next year. You'd be begging Mitch Trubisky to make a comeback. You would. They both have talent, just like Mitch has talent, but they throw many more picks. And they're essentially broken. Everybody says Mitch is broken, get him out of here. Why bring in another broken quarterback? Come on, you're better than that. You know better. So no, they're not on my list. Saw someone say, what about Jared Goff? No, not on my list. Jared Goff, like Wentz, like Darnold, project, huge project. Jared Goff could barely stay afloat with the Rams under Sean McVay. What would happen if he came to the Bears and played under Matt Nagy? I can't even imagine. I would guess 15 touchdowns, 20 picks. Easy. Easy. So let's cool it a bit with that. Out of all these players that I've mentioned and talked about, the only one who'd make a legitimate difference is Deshaun Watson. Everybody else would be similar, maybe just a bit better than Mitch, and even Nick Foles. I'll give him credit too. Nick Foles is an established veteran. He's done some good things in the NFL. How would Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Fitzpatrick, even Dak Prescott to an extent, outplay Nick Foles? They really wouldn't. It'd be about the same. Dak I include in that list because he's hurt and because we all know Dak needs a perfect situation. And then when it comes to comparing all those guys to Mitch, only Watson would be better. Stafford wouldn't be. No, he wouldn't be. Stafford can't win with that team. What makes you think he's going to win here in Chicago with just as bad a team? Let's think. So we'll have to wait and see what the Bears end up doing. A lot of time to go. Maybe more names will pop up. I didn't include Aaron Rodgers because that's a farce. He's not going anywhere. But that's what I think right now. the top 5 Bears quarterbacks who could lead them to more success, other than Mitch and Nick: Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, and Deshaun Watson. That's it. We'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know what you think, too. Comment on the video. Comment on social media at Jon Z Sports. Find me everywhere. Let me know what you think. I'm curious. Who else would be a good choice for the Bears besides those 5? Would there be a big difference between getting one of them and keeping Mitch, or keeping Foles, or keeping both? I'd love to hear your take. Let me know. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Mark Shanowski comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. You must be 21 plus. You must be an Illinois resident. You could bet $250 free on any game you want for this upcoming weekend. Super Bowl's coming up in 2 weeks. You can put down some money now. College basketball and the NBA. A great opportunity in each case to put down so much money and win a whole lot more back. That's sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.